Hey folks, I'm Tennessee Brando for MeidasTouch. You know, the Republican Party has become the party of culture wars, and every night on Fox News, we constantly see Tucker Carlson talking about things like M&Ms and Happy Holidays versus Merry Christmas and Jesus on a coffee cup and girls in the Boy Scouts and people eating vegan food. And now I have a clip of a guy talking about how Xbox is trying to brainwash children into learning about climate control. And I can't believe I've actually said that, and that's actually a thing, but it is. And here's the clip. Take a look at it, and then we'll come back and talk about the ridiculousness of the Republican Party's culture wars.
But we understand what this is. It's not that it's actually going to offset emissions, okay? The level of reduction is infinitesimal, but they're trying to recruit your kids into climate politics at an earlier age. Make them climate conscious now.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. You're right. They're going after the children.
Of course they are. But again, what's...
Okay, so I don't know exactly how many Republicans actually watch MeidasTouch, so maybe you guys can share this video with your crazy Fox News watching QAnon conspiracy theorist uncle. I know y'all got one, we all do, who's always sending you all kind of links to what they don't want you to know. So maybe you can fire back at him, send this video over, because the one thing I would love to ask to that kind of person is, what do these ridiculous right-wing culture wars have to do with how you make a living in this country? What do they have to do with how you go about providing for your family? What do they have to do with decisions that you will need to make about your future or your health care or your children's education? What does any of these culture wars that Tucker Carlson tells you to fight have to do with anything? You know, it's tax time, and I'm gathering up my W-2s, and I'm getting ready to file my taxes. I hope to get some money back so that I can pay some bills. I don't actually need the money. The people I owe needs the money. And so I'm going to get all this together in hopes to get a return. And when I think of that, I can't imagine how Xbox and telling kids about climate control, or someone saying Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas, or what an M&M is wearing on an M&M pack. I can't figure out how that factors in to how I'm going to survive in 2023. But the Republican Party has mastered the art of the culture war so well that people right here in East Tennessee, and I am in a red state, folks, okay? And I am in the buckle of the Bible Belt. And on a daily basis, I hear far right-wing people saying things like, man, I can't believe what they done. You see them M&Ms? I'm never buying another M&M again. I'm never going back to Starbucks as long as I live. I'm just going to eat Chick-fil-A for the rest of my life. And they get all wrapped up in this stuff. And then they'll turn around in the same breath and they'll say, but you know, these people could pay us more. I mean, we deserve something. I mean, we deserve some benefits. I mean, hell, we work our asses off. They don't give us shit. Well, guess what, pal? I got the party for you. The party that you're voting for is getting you all worked up about these crazy, ridiculous conspiracy theories, and the party that I'm over here supporting, we talk about education. We talk about jobs. We talk about healthcare. We talk about the environment. We talk about all the other things that's actually affecting your life, and we really don't see the point in talking about M&Ms or an Xbox going woke. It's so ridiculous that hardworking people and good-hearted people, there's a whole lot of people who at heart are good-hearted. They're just simply misled by this fear-mongering, right-wing style of politics that gets people worked into a frenzy over absolutely nothing. And they do this to keep you distracted from the fact that they are taking everything that you feel like you should get. And they're telling you it's the Democrats doing it. And it's people of color doing it. And it's people from coming over the border doing it. And it's everyone else. It's evil, Democratic. They found a way to label anything that helps you as socialism. Anything that helps you is just a Democratic plot to destroy you. Oh, don't trust a Democrat. Don't believe a Democrat. Okay, you can choose not to. You don't ever have to believe a word that I say. You don't ever have to push the button for a Democrat again. But what are you pushing the button for when you vote for Republican? To keep an Xbox from going woke? Is that what's important to you? Because that's all they're talking about. And the only thing on their agenda is to simply tear down everything a Democrat put in place. The only thing on their agenda is to make everything Donald Trump did illegally legal. That's what they're trying to do. They have nothing to offer you. And every day, right here where I'm from, and I know so many of you, it doesn't really matter where you're from. It doesn't matter if you're in the South, North, East, West. It makes no difference. We all have towns in our states where people struggle every day. And it just disheartens me to see what is otherwise good, honest, hardworking people falling for these ridiculous culture wars that gets them all worked into a frenzy, and then they sit back and complain about what they don't have in the world, and they can't figure out why they don't have it. and they call people like me, a fellow American who's working right along beside of them, I get called a socialist or a communist or a baby killer or all of the above for trying to say, hey, maybe you should start listening to the other side of the fence if you're actually concerned about the real issues at hand. But one thing I've learned, and it's sad, about people who have this Republican mindset, things have to happen to them personally before they actually react to it. And that's just the cold, hard truth. I have seen people in this world who, when their daughter was faced with the decision of whether or not to have an abortion, and they had to make the tough decision, I've seen people change their stances suddenly on abortion and go, well, you know, they do need to leave that in place. Sometimes it needs to happen. And I've seen instances where I've known people who were very homophobic or very racist. And when their daughter suddenly came out of the closet, suddenly, well, I don't like it if you say something bad about gay people. Or if their son married a person of color, well, don't say nothing about them now. It always has to hit them before they see the severity of the situation. And that's what's sad. But that's why that I feel like that if more people starts talking, I've always said, you know, if you live, especially if you live in these red states, you live in these Bible belts, and, you know, you look like a redneck and sound like a redneck and probably dress like a redneck and probably still have some of the, you know, I sometimes catch myself doing very redneck things and I go, oh man. But maybe if they hear people like us, the guy next to them at work, talking about it, then maybe they might eventually, if we talk enough. I know it's frustrating. I know the other side is so freaking loud, folks. That's the problem. They're so damn loud, but we just got to get louder. They can get louder with their rhetoric. We need to get louder with common sense. So let's hope that it works. But what I want you guys to do now is I want you to go hit that subscribe button here on MeidasTouch. Send this video to your crazy conspiracy theory uncle and see what he has to say. Drop it in the comments. Tell me how it went for you. And come back next time. I'm Tennessee Brando for MeidasTouch. Keep tuning in. I'll keep trying to tell you the truth.
Our blue wall stopped the red wave and election deniers got denied election. That's why we're celebrating with the new Democracy Prevails team. We've got lots of work to do, but we should all be proud that when democracy was tested, democracy prevailed. You've earned this. Don't wait. Get yours right now at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.